Hi, this is Tom Leach from Global Action Plan. I'm going to be talking about the Big Energy Race and how it can help your community group. To start with, the Big Energy Race is a programme that's run by Global Action Plan, and we're an environmental charity. Been working with community groups and with businesses and schools for over 20 years. And then the Big Energy Race is supported by British Gas, EDF Energy, Green Energy and npower. So the Big Energy Race, what is it? Well, it's a national energy saving campaign, and we're hoping that it's a fun and engaging way that community groups can get involved and help households in their local area to take control of energy bills and to reduce their energy costs. It's also a chance to win energy saving prizes, including energy saving appliances and other things that will help to save energy. There's a prize at the end of the race, and the team that's crowned the Big Energy Race champions will win money towards an energy saving initiative that they can take in their own community. So we've put together some guidelines for the kind of things that you might be doing as a community group that will mean the Big Energy Race could really help you to do what you're trying to achieve. First of all, if the aim of your group is to help people in your area, that might be to help people to save energy, or it might be that you just have a general interest in helping people in your area. Hopefully the Big Energy Race will be useful to you, and I'll explain how as we go along. Secondly, you may offer one-to-one support and advice to people in your area. That might be in a formal way, it might be a very informal thing that you offer just as a friend-to-friend support to people. Thirdly, it may be that you own or that you use a community centre, and we're thinking of this particularly because it's a great chance to meet other people and a great place to talk to people about energy saving. Ideally, your group would be looking for activities to run that the general public can come along to in the period of January to March 2015, which is when the race runs. And finally, it would be great if you had ideas for a community energy project that you could run in your area. Now, you don't need to be doing all of these. Really, it's just enough to be able to tick one of these off, that this is what you're about as a group, and that means that the Big Energy Race should be able to help you. We've put together a list of groups who may be interested in taking part in the Big Energy Race, and these are the ones that might be most relevant to. Groups linked to housing associations, so we're thinking here of tenant and resident groups, performing arts clubs, transition town groups, or other local environmental groups that want to make a difference in helping people's impact on the environment. Then local sports clubs like cricket clubs, football clubs, youth groups, youth clubs, faith groups like churches and mosques, and then uniformed organisations such as Scouts and Brownies. City Farm might be another good example of a group that would be interested. So we're showing you pictures of groups that we worked with in the past. We've worked with a wide range of groups, and we found that there's always something that groups can do that will help other people in their local area to look at ways of having a better impact on the environment and ways of saving money on energy. So just a little bit about why we see the Big Energy Race as being important. Firstly, it takes place over winter, which is obviously the time when people have to use most energy and when the struggle for energy on paying energy bills is most acute. And there are statistics that show the average UK household spends over £1,300 on energy each year, and unfortunately much of that energy is wasted. It's not necessarily that people mean to waste it, but often homes and the things in homes and the kind of habits that we get into make us waste energy. We also know, and this is something that Global Action Plan has found, that this is avoidable and that simple steps can be taken that can reduce energy bills. So that's why we put a Big Energy Race together, and we've given it the strapline of helping communities to get energy fit. It's about using less energy and paying less for the energy that you use. So a quick picture to illustrate how the Big Energy Race works. We see it as a really good way to help community groups to engage with other local residents in their area. At the top of this we have the community group leader who signs their group up to the Big Energy Race as a team. This may be a formal leader of the group, or it could be somebody acting on behalf of the group. They involve the members of their group, so people who are maybe on the committee or who are on a membership list. And this group of people become team members, and they help the community group to take energy saving challenges in their local community, including things like signing up people as team members as well. So that reaches the final group here. Members of the local community take part by becoming team members, supporting their team and taking energy saving challenges at home. So through the involvement of one person as a team leader and a number of people as the team, the community group, we can reach a lot of people in each local community. As people go on, they take part in various challenges, either challenges that the team takes in its local community or that individuals take at home. And more challenges completed leads to more points, which leads to more chance of winning prizes, which I'll explain in a minute. So another picture to illustrate how the Big Energy Race works. Firstly, as we've already discussed, community groups sign up as teams in the Big Energy Race. Secondly, the teams aim to sign up members of their community as team members. Thirdly, teams get points by completing energy-saving challenges in their local community. And fourthly, team members earn points for their team by completing energy-saving challenges at home. And we see this as something that leads ultimately to each community benefiting. So wherever the Big Energy Race happens, we see that local community is benefiting. And along the way, the top scoring teams win energy-saving prizes. So to illustrate a little bit about how the prizes work, in the first 7 weeks of the Big Energy Race, all teams compete against each other for weekly prizes. There are prizes to win energy efficient products, energy efficient appliances. Then in the last weeks of the race, the top team in each region, and I will explain that later on, competes for the final prize. So there'll be 2 stretches in the race. The first stretch where everybody's competing all together. The final stretch where the top teams compete for the main cash prize and all remaining teams continue to compete for the weekly prizes. It's probably worth saying at this stage that there may be groups who decide that they want to enter the Big Energy Race more as a fun run than a race, because they see that there are things in here which will be of value to local people, so it's worth doing for that very reason, even if they don't think they're going to win any prizes along the way. And that's perfectly fine. I think it's a great way of showing support for local residents and completely worthwhile. So to give an example of some of the challenges that teams can take part in. Firstly, one of the easy things that groups can do is simply to promote the race in the local area with posters, maybe using social media, using websites, if they have newsletters, using those. And we will provide a lot of resources that can be used. We'll provide printed posters, we'll provide text that can be used for social media, and text that can be used on websites, and text for newsletters. Secondly, it may be that the team wants to think about energy themselves, and there's a downloadable icebreaker activity that groups can use to think about energy and think about ways of saving energy and to get ideas from all the people in the room. Thirdly, we'll provide a series of newsletter articles which can be adapted and used in either print newsletters or electronic newsletters on topics like how to find out if you're on the best energy tariff for you, additional help that's available for people in cold weather, some general tips about energy saving that could be useful in your local community. One thing that people can get hold of, that groups can get hold of through this, is a set of energy saving packs that we've used very successfully in previous projects. These are very simple things that somebody can give to a friend or family member, spend about 5 minutes explaining, and help the person that receives it to see ways of saving energy in their home. They're all very simple things, but we've been able to show that it makes quite a difference being given this by somebody that you know and being encouraged to think about the energy saving that you already do, and also some simple things that you could start doing. Finally, if you're running an event in the next few months, we've got some suggestions where you can include an energy saving element as a very simple part of that. So for all of these, we're not expecting you to do lots of new things. We're trying to provide ways that community groups can include a little bit of extra attention on energy saving as part of things that they already do. And that's something that you'll be encouraged to do as part of the Big Energy Race, to look at what you're already doing and see how you can simply include energy in some of that. So secondly, the challenges for team members. These are things that individuals can do at home as ways of saving energy and saving on their energy bills. Firstly, we'll be giving a lot of tips about ways that homes waste energy and what you can do to make a difference about that. So we'll be providing information about what makes a difference, what you can do to save, and also how many other people take those actions. So you get an idea for the kind of things that different people are doing. Secondly, ways of tracking your energy use. We find that a lot of people don't really understand their energy meters or their energy bills as well as they could have done, and that this can hold them back from knowing how they can make a difference. And also it can hold them back from knowing that they're on the best tariff that they could be. So we'll provide a few simple ways to interpret and understand the information that you get on your energy bills and on your meters, and to decide what that means. And also ways to track that over time so you can see if you are actually saving energy from the things that you do. Finally, thirdly, some tips to check that you are on the best tariff for yourself, depending on what's important for you in your energy supplier and the amount that you pay. How to check that if you are on Economy 7, that's the best tariff for you, or just ways to make sure that you know that the amount that you pay for your energy is the right amount. And finally, some tips and ways that you can pass information on to friends and family. We find that people that do energy saving actions are great people to pass that information on to other people. And whether you already do a lot or whether you start doing a lot through your participation in the Big Energy Race, there are lots of quick and easy ways that we will give you to pass those tips on to other people so you can help them to save too. We'll be providing a lot of support material for the teams that take part. So if you register in the next few weeks, we will send you information by email and by post to get you race ready. It will include things like a frequently asked questions sheet so that you can answer some of the basic questions that you have, some infographics about the race, some of them that you'll have seen in this presentation, that should make it easier to explain the race and to talk to other people about it. We will send you some posters, some A5 posters and A4 posters that should help you to recruit team members. And as I previously mentioned, text and various examples that you can use in social media. There will also be invitations to a webinar to explain the race, so we will be going through a little bit more detail about how things work in the new year. And also there are videos that we will tell you about to watch and to see what is involved in the Big Energy Race. Finally, we'll give you some tips to help you get the most out of the race so that you can do the best that you can for your community. In the new year, we'll be launching properly the Big Energy Race website. Now this has everything that you need to take part in the Big Energy Race. So this includes the challenges that team leaders can take on behalf of their teams and that team members can take in their home to save energy. There are a lot of downloadable resources that we've developed over a number of years as part of our community programs, and we're making these available to you through the website. As it's a race, there will be a points table and a leaderboard, so you'll be able to see the points that you get for the activities that you undertake and the activities that members of your team do, and you'll also be able to see how that compares with other teams. Finally, the website gives you a chance to talk and tell the stories of what you've done and the successes, and also to read what other people are doing. We're very keen to share good stories and good news and good ways of doing things, so we'll use the website and other communications to do that so that you can see what's working, what people are doing and what is making a difference. To give you an idea of the content on the website, this shows the 5 different sets of challenges that are available as part of the website. Firstly, action stations, which looks at energy saving that you can do at home. Secondly, measuring up, which is to really top tips to keep on top of what you're spending and to make sure that you understand the information you get from your energy meter and from your bill. Savvy Shopper is a module that helps you to look at making sure that you're paying the right amount for your energy. Pass the Baton is all about helping friends and family to save on energy too. So lots of resources that you can pass on, lots of information, lots of things that should make things easier to have those conversations. And finally, Lead the Way, which is ways that local community groups can help local people to save energy. These are actions that team leaders will choose on behalf of their team and simple things that they can do in their area. To look in a little bit more detail about action stations, we'll give you some top tips, things that you can do to make a difference. I won't go through any of these in detail, so you'll have to join the website and have a look in January to see what these are. But they're all simple ways that you can save energy in your home or that other people can. And we'll give you information about how to do it. We'll give you some extra resources where the action is a bit more complicated. And we'll give you an idea of how popular this action is among other people. So to explain how all these points add together, essentially points are collected by teams and team members completing challenges. So starting on the totalizer at the bottom, when a team joins and gets started, it will get points for doing that. Then the activities that the team choose to do will also get points. So local publicity by the team in their local area will earn them points. And using the suggestions that we've provided to write newsletter articles will also gain them points. The second lot of points will come from activities that team members do. So for every team member who signs up to support your team, you'll get points. And then for every challenge that each team member in your team completes, you will get points. So you can see that quite quickly, from joining and getting started and from the group doing a few activities, and then team members also taking challenges, you start to build up points and build up recognition of what you're doing. In terms of timing, we're now in the preparation stage of the Big Energy Race, which will run through to the 12th of January. This is a time when you can register online on the website, which is www.bigenergyrace.org, and you'll receive all the information that will help you to plan your race activities, to find out what you can do, to find out what will be useful for you to think about for the coming months. Then on the 12th of January, we'll be launching the Big Energy Race, and this forms the start of the opening stretch. During this period, teams can still join, so we'll be hoping that more teams will get on board once they've seen what other teams are doing, and you can continue to recruit friends and family as team members. The opening stretch runs through to the 28th of February, so you've got a good 6 weeks to be doing activities and helping local people to take part. The final stretch takes place in March, and this is the point at which the top 14 teams will compete for the main prize, and the remaining teams will continue to compete for weekly prizes. So anything you do in this period can keep you getting more points as a team. A quick note on who does what, because we have various people involved in this race to support you and to make the most out of it. Firstly, ourselves, Global Action Plan. We are the race organisers, and we'll provide all the materials that you need. And we'll also support a team of race marshals across the country. So race marshals are the next level. They're partners who we're working with in the 14 regions of England, Scotland and Wales, as shown on the map. And they are people whose day job is to support groups and individuals on energy issues. So they will provide support to the community groups who sign up in each of their areas, and then they'll help us to administer the race and to spot good ideas and good practice. Thirdly, team leaders. These are people, as I've explained before, who sign up on behalf of their group, and they will be responsible for the administration, which involves a very simple task of looking on the website, deciding what actions the team will do, and then uploading team blogs after things have happened and putting photos on. So that could be the leader of the team, the community group itself, or it might be a member of the community group, somebody maybe who is or who's quite experienced with websites or is interested in talking about the things that you do. And then finally, we have team members who are members of your local community who take energy-saving actions, energy-saving challenges at home. So a quick note about what might be in it for you to take taking part. We think that a lot of people will get involved simply because this is a good way to help members of your community. So that's the primary reason that we think people will get involved. But there'll also be a chance to compete for prizes. As I've explained, there are weekly prizes for teams that do best during that week, and then we have the star prize at the end. Secondly, you'll get lots of ideas for how you can save energy at home. All of the things that are on the website are tried and tested. They're ways that we have been able to help people in the past to save energy at home. You'll get access to fun, accessible and proven energy saving resources and activities. So we've done a lot with community groups over the past, and this is a great way that we can get these resources out to a lot more people so they can be used by more people and help more people to save energy. And then finally, there'll be the chance to raise the profile of your community group, and this is mainly through local press coverage when we launch the race mid-January. So if all that isn't enough, one team at the end will be crowned Big Energy Race champions, so winning the overall prize, which is the money to spend on a community energy project in their local area. So having heard that, if you'd like to find out more about the Big Energy Race, here are the next steps. I'd encourage you to visit thebigenergyrace.org and register your interest and receive the pre-race materials. Even if at the end of the day you decide that the Big Energy Race isn't quite for you, hopefully there'll be some of the resources that you receive during that time that'll be useful. And we want this to make a difference in local communities, so we're very keen that you can access resources that are useful for you. And then in January we'll be running a webinar for teams, so this is a way you can find out about some of the practicalities of how the race will work and what you can do to give you the best chances of making the race a good one. And we're planning on that being on the 8th of January. If you sign up through thebigenergyrace.org, you will hear about when the date is and how to get involved. Finally, in January the race starts. There's a chance you can access the full website when that becomes live, get a look at all the supporting resources that are available, and then really make your race the best that it can be. So thank you very much for listening, for taking the time to stick it to the end of this video. If you do have any more questions, obviously you can register on the website, but if you'd like to email someone to discuss it in more detail, then you can do that at bigenergyrace, all one word, at globalactionplan, all one word, .org.uk. Thank you very much for listening.